Austin had always been a man of distinction, admired for his sharp business sense and impeccable taste. Yet beneath his polished and successful exterior, he kept a deep secret. Despite amassing significant wealth and achieving success in his career, he was secretly in love with a woman who was even wealthier than he was. She possessed not only great financial resources but also exceptional intelligence, elegance, and independence. Her aura was one of untouchable allure, and this very quality was what intimidated Austin the most. The disparity in the social statuses only made his feelings more complicated, and the idea of approaching her directly seemed too daunting. His admiration for her was genuine, but his fear of rejection held him back from expressing his true emotions openly. Thus, he chose a more indirect approach to convey his feelings. Rather than face the risk of rejection or the awkwardness of a direct confession, Austin opted for a more secretive approach to express his feelings. He began leaving thoughtful gifts and romantic notes at the entrance of her grand mansion. His plan was to remain anonymous and observe her reactions from afar. To ensure he was not caught, he chose the early morning hours when the streets were deserted. With careful precision, Austin would slip the gifts past the vigilant security guards and the elaborate gate that protected her estate. The items he selected were always chosen with great care: elegant jewelry, delicate trinkets, and notes filled with poetic sentiments. This method allowed him to stay hidden while still making his presence felt in a manner that was both enchanting and enigmatic. His heart raced with each delivery, unsure of how his gestures were being received. As the days went by, the woman started discovering the unexpected gifts left at her doorstep. Each item, whether it was a piece of exquisite jewelry or a handwritten note, intrigued her. The notes were always poetic, expressing feelings of admiration and affection with an elegance that captivated her. She found herself drawn to the mystery behind these thoughtful presents. Despite her curiosity and attempts to uncover the identity of her secret admirer, she was met with frustration. Even her team of security experts could not determine who was behind the gifts. The anonymity only added to the allure, making her wonder about the person who was willing to go through such lengths to make her feel special. The enigma surrounding the gifts sparked a sense of fascination and intrigue that kept her eagerly anticipating each new delivery. On her birthday, the surprise from her secret admirer was particularly touching. A delicate bracelet, intricately engraved with her initials, was left at her doorstep. Accompanying the bracelet was a note that read, "Happy birthday to the woman who lights up the world with her presence." The sentiment in the note and the beauty of the bracelet deeply moved her. This thoughtful gesture only intensified her curiosity about the identity of her admirer. She appreciated the effort and care that had gone into choosing such a personal and meaningful gift. The note made her reflect on how this mysterious admirer seemed to understand and appreciate her in ways that felt profoundly personal. Her determination to uncover the mystery grew stronger, as the gifts and messages continued to resonate with her on an emotional level. After several months of receiving the anonymous gifts, the woman decided it was time to take action. She resolved to use modern technology to solve the mystery. A small, hidden camera was discreetly placed at the front gate of her mansion, aimed at capturing any activity related to the mysterious gifts. She hoped that this would allow her to finally catch a glimpse of her secret admirer. Despite her efforts, days passed without any significant footage. The camera captured only the usual comings and goings of her household staff and visitors. The lack of new gifts and the inactivity of the camera left her feeling disheartened. The mystery seemed to deepen, and she began to worry that she might never discover who was behind the thoughtful gestures. Her hope of unveiling the secret seemed to be slipping away. One morning, as she was on her way to work, an unexpected turn of events occurred. Her car suddenly broke down in the middle of the road, leaving her stranded and frustrated. Just as she was about to call for roadside assistance, a sleek black car pulled up beside her. To her surprise, the driver was none other than Austin, her new friend. With a warm and friendly smile, he offered her a ride. His unexpected appearance and genuine offer of help provided a moment of relief. During the drive, they had the chance to engage in conversation, which led to a natural and enjoyable exchange. Austin's charming demeanor and easygoing nature made the journey pleasant, and the conversation flowed effortlessly. This chance encounter provided an opportunity for them to connect on a personal level, setting the stage for a deeper relationship. The car ride turned out to be the beginning of something special. As they spent time together, Austin's charm and down-to-earth personality captivated her. The conversations were engaging, and his witty remarks and relaxed attitude made her feel comfortable. They exchanged phone numbers, leading to frequent text messages and casual meetups for coffee. The friendship blossomed as they attended various events together, enjoying each other's company and discovering shared interests. She found herself increasingly drawn to Austin's social life and his ability to make her laugh. As they spent more time together, her feelings for him deepened. What had started as a chance encounter gradually evolved into a meaningful connection, and she began to realize that her growing affection for Austin was more than just friendly admiration. One day, she decided to visit Austin at his home, eager to experience a different side of him. When she arrived, she was impressed by his elegant house, which reflected his success and sophisticated taste. Despite its grandeur, the atmosphere was warm and inviting, creating a sense of comfort and intimacy. They spent the afternoon together, engaged in lively conversation and shared laughter. The ease with which they interacted made it feel as though they had known each other for years. The experience of being in Austin's home allowed her to see him in a new light and further solidified the growing bond. The time together was marked by genuine connection and an effortless exchange of stories, deepening her appreciation for Austin and the relationship they were building. During the visit, Austin received an important call from a business associate. As he quickly jotted down details on a notepad, she couldn't help but notice something familiar about his handwriting. The way he wrote was strikingly similar to the handwriting on the romantic notes she had received. Her heart raced as she made the connection between the handwriting and the anonymous gifts. The realization that Austin might be her secret admirer left her in a state of excitement and curiosity. The coincidence was too significant to ignore, and she began to piece together the clues. The discovery prompted her to reflect on the possibility that the person she had been growing close to might also be the one who had been sending her the heartfelt messages and gifts all along. After returning home, she decided to investigate further to confirm her suspicions. She retrieved one of the romantic notes and compared it with the memory of Austin's handwriting. The resemblance was unmistakable, and the connection became clear. Austin, the man she had been developing a friendship with, was indeed the person behind the anonymous gifts. The realization filled her with a mix of emotions, surprise, delight, and a touch of disappointment for not having uncovered the truth sooner. The mystery of the admirer was solved, but it also added a new layer to the relationship. She felt a sense of validation in her feelings and a deeper appreciation for the thoughtful gestures that had been part of her life. Knowing the truth about Austin's role in the mystery made her view the growing connection in a new light. The following day, she decided to confront Austin about her discovery. She invited him to a quiet cafe, a setting that was both casual and intimate. As they sat down, she leaned in and asked him directly, "When were you planning on telling me?" Austin looked puzzled, unsure of what she was referring to. When she clarified that she was talking about the anonymous gifts and notes, a look of realization crossed his face. He hadn't anticipated that she would uncover his secret in this way, and he was caught off guard. Austin admitted that he had been hesitant to reveal his identity because he feared it might change how she saw him. The conversation opened up a new level of honesty between them, and Austin's vulnerability in admitting his feelings was a significant moment in the relationship. As the reality of the situation sank in, Austin felt a mix of relief and apprehension. He had longed to tell her the truth about his identity as the secret admirer, but had been unsure of how to approach the topic without jeopardizing the growing friendship. He sighed and gave a sheepish smile, acknowledging his hesitation. "I wanted to tell you," he confessed, "but I wasn't sure how to do it without risking what we have now. I was afraid you'd see me differently." His admission revealed the depth of his feelings and his concern for the relationship. The moment was both a revelation and a turning point, as Austin's honesty opened the door for a deeper connection. It was clear that his feelings for her were genuine, and his vulnerability only made her more appreciative of his affection. Her response to Austin's confession was a blend of relief and affection. She reassured him that she had been falling for the person behind the gifts, appreciating the thoughtfulness and effort that had gone into each gesture. "I was falling for the person behind those gifts," she said with sincerity. Her admiration had grown not just for the mystery but for the man who had been thoughtful and caring from the start. She emphasized that knowing Austin was the person behind the gifts made everything feel right. The revelation of his identity only strengthened her feelings for him, affirming that her emotions were genuine. The connection between them was now grounded in both the mystery of the anonymous gifts and the newfound truth about Austin. The realization that Austin had been the one behind the gifts brought a sense of completeness to her feelings. It was as if a missing piece of the puzzle had finally been found, making her emotions more vivid and real. She admired Austin not just for his thoughtful gestures but for his courage to eventually reveal his true self. This honesty bridged any gaps that might have existed and deepened the bond. The connection, initially sparked by intrigue and admiration, now had a solid foundation of mutual respect and affection. The fact that Austin's intentions were genuine and that he had been sincere in his affection made the relationship feel more meaningful. The moment was transformative, marking the beginning of a new chapter in the journey together. Austin's relief was palpable as he listened to her response. He reached across the table and took her hand in his, a gesture that symbolized his deep affection and gratitude. "I've wanted to tell you for so long," he admitted, his voice filled with emotion. "I just didn't want to risk losing you." Her reassuring words eased his fears, and he felt a weight lift off his shoulders. Her declaration that she was not only accepting of his feelings but was also finding joy in the revelation was heartwarming. "You're not losing me," she said, her smile radiating warmth. "In fact, I think you're gaining something much more." The mutual acknowledgement of the feelings solidified the relationship, transforming it from a series of anonymous gestures into a genuine, heartfelt connection. The newfound understanding paved the way for a deeper and more meaningful relationship. From that day forward, the relationship flourished in ways neither of them had anticipated. The journey from anonymous gifts to a genuine connection added a unique and memorable dimension to the love story. What began as a secret admiration evolved into a profound and heartfelt romance. Austin, who had once admired her from a distance, now had the opportunity to love her more openly and intimately. She, who had been intrigued by the mystery, found herself deeply in love with the man behind the secret. The story was no longer shrouded in anonymity but was now grounded in mutual affection and understanding. Together, they discovered that sometimes the most beautiful love stories start with a touch of mystery and a lot of heartfelt sincerity. The connection grew stronger as they embraced both the romantic gestures of the past and the genuine relationship they were building together.